Hello dear students of Standard 8. Welcome to DAV Moyle Public School. I am here social science teacher Nitin Pushpatode. Students, today I will take the revision of natural resources, land, soil and water, part first. So let's start our today's online session. Land resources. Students, what about the land resources? Yes, students, we are living on the Earth planet. Earth is a unique planet in the solar system. Life is possible on the Earth because of the four spheres: lithosphere, atmosphere, hydrosphere, and biosphere. Students, Earth's surface is divided into two parts, that is land and water. Land covered about 30% of the total surface area of the Earth and water about the 70%. Okay, students, the land is the most important natural resource, which all human activities is based on land. Students, it is used for the growing crops, building houses, constructing roads and railway tracks. Again, establishing industries, grazing animals and mining. For that purpose, we are using land. In short, students, almost all human activities related to food, shelter and clothing takes place on land. Lithosphere consists of loose surface material. It's called soil. That means towards loose surface of the land, it's called the soil. It is a combination of organic and inorganic matter. Yes, students, how soil form? Listen, soil is a combination of organic and inorganic matter. The organic component, which consists of dead and decomposed parts of animals and plants, is known as humus. Listen, students, what do you mean by the humus? The organic component, which consists of dead and decomposed parts of the animals and plants, is known as humus. Students, the inorganic component is formed by the rock particles and animals such as lime, iron, etc. Students, humus is play a major role to the development of crops. Okay, it formed from the remains of decomposed of the remains of the parts of animals and plants. Students, soil is formed as a result of long continued weathering process of rocks. It also contains water and air, which occupies pore space. So students, this is soil and its important factor is humus. Next point students, land use. Land is used for the various purposes such as cultivation of crops, building of houses, construction of roads and railways, grazing of animals, again establishing industries and constructing roads and railway tracks and again so on. So students, for many purposes we are using land. This is commonly known as land use pattern. The percentage of land used for the various purposes varies from one region to another region. So students, so it refers as a land use. Next point is factors affecting utilization of land. Students, some physical factors and some human factors are affecting utilization of land. Listen, students, the utilization of land is determined by the continuous interplay of the physical factors such as relief, that means landforms like mountains, plateaus, coastal region, desert, whatever. Again, students, climatic conditions, mineral resources. Students, these physical factors definitely affected the utilization of land. Another, human factors like density of population, technological requirement, and social requirement. Students, these human factors also affect the utilization of land. Human factors like density of population and the technological and social requirements impacting on the utilization of land. Students, the study of land use pattern is most important for the economic planning of nation. It helps in assessing outcomings, shortcomings in the land utilization. Countries decide the land use according to their development goals and availability of the natural resources. So students, these factors, physical as well as the human factors, are affecting the utilization of land. Soil resources. Students, soil is the loose surface material of earth. A large part of the earth's land surface is covered with soil. As a resource, soil is of immense a great value of the farmers. Agricultural production is mainly dependent upon the fertility of soil. Yes, students, humus is the most important factor which is responsible for the development of crops. That means organic and inorganic material require for the development of crops. Rich and deep soil cover with a high degree of the fertility favors agricultural production. Students, these factors are responsible for the development of agriculture. On the other hand, if the soil covers in shallow and lacks fertility, agricultural production will be less. Therefore, a thick layer of fertile soil is very important for the growth of plants. Okay, students, some factors are affecting soil formation. Students, which factors are responsible for the soil formation? That means, how did soil form? Listen, soil formation is influenced by the five factors: the parent rock, the topography, the climate, the vegetation, and time. Listen, students. First, the parent rock. The original rock from which soil is formed by the process of weathering is known as parent rock. Listen, students. The original rock from which soil is formed by the processing of weathering is known as parent rock. For example, students, the black soil of India is derived from the lava rock. Students, it is long-term process. After a long time, soil is formed through the rocks. Okay, it called the factor which is responsible for soil formation. Second, students, the topography. What do you mean by the topography? Listen. The arrangement of the natural and artificial physical features of an area, it's called the topography. Topographic variations such as mountains, plateaus, and plains affects the thickness of the soil cover. In mountains region, on the steep slopes, the top layer of soil is shallow and thin. On the other hand, at gentle slopes, the soil cover is thick and deep. Soil cover is always thick in plains. For example, the northern plain of India have thick soil cover as compared to the Himalayas. Next one is the climate. Climatic factors like temperature and rainfall affect the soil formation. In the areas of high rainfall and extreme temperature, rocks are easily weathered. In Rajasthan, due to extreme difference in day and night temperature, rocks expand and contract, which result in quick formation of the soil. So students, in such of that the climate is the most important factor which is responsible for the soil formation. Next, the vegetation. At times, plants grow in cracks existing in row. With time, roots of these plants starts penetrating in the cracks and make them wider. As a result, cracks disintegrate into smaller pieces and help in the soil formation. Yes, students, we are observing such like scenario. Okay, plants grow on rocks. Remains of dead or decomposed plants and animals provided humus to the soil, which enriches the fertility of the soil. The soil of densely forested area is generally very rich in humus content. Last one, students, time. Time gives maturity to the soil. Although soil is a renewable source, it takes thousands of years to develop a very thin layer of soil on the earth's surface. That means, students, for the soil formation process, time, that means a long period, okay, long time is required. For example, the Nile Delta, okay, and the delta formed by the Ganga and Brahmaputra rivers have very deep and the fertile soil. It required a lot of time. So students, these factors are affecting the soil formation. Next point is soil erosion. Okay, students, fertile soil is essential for agriculture. It helps in maintaining food security of the world, but it has been observed that the fertility of soil is severely damaged by the erosion, by the soil erosion. Students, what do you mean by the soil erosion? Listen. In soil erosion, the top layer of the soil is removed by the natural agents such as water, wind, glacier, etc. And again by the some mankind activities. Mankind unvoice actions such as deforestation, overgrazing and mining. Students, in the given picture, you are observing the soil erosion criteria. Okay, that means such type of erosions happen by the some natural agents such as wind, glacier, water, etc. Students, the need to conserve the soil from erosion has become one major environmental concern. So, students, soil conservation. Students, how can we conserve the soil? Which measures, which practices should be applied to conserve soil? Listen, students, soil conservation means what? Prevention of soil from being eroded. Various methods for the soil conservation system we are we should use. Okay, students, which practices? First, afforestation. Afforestation is the process of planting more trees and seeds on the land. It reduces the surface runoff and builds up the soil. So students, afforestation is the most important measure to minimize the soil erosion. Second, students, overgrazing by animals like sheep and goats must be checked. Fodder crops should be raised. It is another. Then steps should be taken to check the recklessness cutting or the felling of trees. Floods should be avoided by building dams across the rivers. That means building dams across the rivers. It is the another most important practice which is important for soil conservation. Again, students, we have to apply some scientific agricultural practice like rotation of crops. Strip cropping should be systematically followed. So students, through these practices, definitely we can conserve soil. Again, students, contour farming, terrace farming, no-till farming, organic farming, restore wetlands, planting vegetation cover and forest uh, restoration, planting buffer strips, windbreaks, proper waste disposal and management. Students, these are the small practices which are beneficial for which are useful for the soil conservation. Okay students, here are some important questions. You have to write the answer of these questions and read properly. I will take the revision of remaining portion of this lesson in the next online session. So till then, thank you very much and have a nice day.